Hello Libra, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Cachet Tarot. It's published by topthatpublishing.com. Feel free to check that out if you'd like that. Supportive Oracle cards, magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Illustrated by Jesse Reish. There's a website at the bottom, hayhouse.com. Feel free to check that out if you would like to. Okay, Libra. Why is there so much speed? Like things are flying along. Ooh, okay. Yeah, well, the Eight of Wands did pop out, which is a speed card, travel or speed and or. Something's coming in for you. Okay. Okay. A lot of stuff going on here. Energy and speed. What all that is I can't get to that just yet, but there's like a 5 cards face down over here that I want to see, but it's not time yet. Something is coming in. I keep wanting to have this argument about being chosen versus being selected. And I think you're being selected for this. In the sense of, like, chosen, I feel like people know what they're asking for and they're choosing what they want. Selection is like, well, this is what we have, so it's like, oh, I don't know really what that's about, but I'll select that because it looks fairly good. Like, I don't think people really understand what they're getting into when they select you. But they're making a really good selection by selecting you. It's weird because now I want to say choose. Like, you may feel like they chose you, but I get they selected you. They don't really understand what's going on. They're just like, at quick glance, they're like, oh, Libra's probably good. Let's go with Libra. They don't really understand what you're about or who you actually are. Why is it? Oh, that's doing that. It's good. I don't feel bad about it. I feel like they're very optimistic with it. They're hoping you fit the situation the way they want it to. When I see true love come to me, they're hoping you're going to fit the situation the way they need you to fit it. They don't really understand how smart you are. I don't feel like they're paying attention. But you're in the right spot at the right time. Divine guidance with the Two of Wands. This may seem like a very random moment, a very quick decision, but it's a good decision. And it's where you're supposed to be. The divine invention right next to it. Invention? Divine guidance? Okay. I was going to say divine intervention, but I'm feeling like you're right where you're supposed to be. Like you are where you're supposed to be. Now, when you first get into this, you're going to quickly realize that this is a very quickly moving situation. A lot of fast moving, a lot of quick left, quick right. I feel like you're watching somebody else do a lot of things, and you got to figure out why they're doing what they're doing. That seems to be first, figuring out why they're doing what they're doing. I think that's a natural thing for Libra, though. I'm trying to move forward. You're going to see a lot of mistakes, too. You're immediately going to have to hold yourself back. I feel like you're going to have to hold yourself back to like absorb as much of it as you can and not call things out or not try to fix things in the beginning. They're saying give yourself 2 months if you can, which seems like a lot, to not try to fix things because there's a lot of layers here. If you can get all the way through the layers, it'll take you about 2 months, and once you see it in its entirety, you can effectively change things. Because I feel like otherwise you're going to have to do a lot of backtracking, and it's not something you're going to want to do. Who wants to backtrack, right? There's so much going so fast, like so fast. It is really quick. It's not bad, but it's like it's hard for you to see what's really going on because things are moving by so quickly. As you get a little deeper into it, though, you're going to realize that the surface layers actually do make sense. They just don't look like they make sense from the outside. Once you get to the deeper part of it, you're going to be like, oh, that's why that goes that way, and oh, that's why this goes this way, and this one's trying to deal with that one, and that one's trying to appease this one. Once you get down into the layers, you're going to see it works the way it actually needs to. It just doesn't look at it at first glance. It doesn't look like it until you get deeper into it. When you get very deep into it, too, you're going to find somebody who's very much like you. I'm not going to say they're a Libra, but they might have some Libra qualities, or at least some type of air sign qualities, to where they're very intelligent and they know what they're doing and they're orchestrating it a certain way. Once you get to that deeper level, I keep getting like it's going to take about 2 months, things get really kind of easy for you. Because the reason I think it gets really easy is because it makes sense. And then you also feel like the person who's pulling the strings and kind of trying to smooth things out and make things work out a certain way, you understand why. And I do feel like it links up with like, you're like, yeah, no, that is fair, because now I see the history of this. I see why this is done that way. I see where this is going. It makes perfect sense to me why it is happening this way. And it also feels like you fit in. Like I feel like when you figure it out, you're going to connect to the right person, and they're going to realize that you kind of figured out what's going on. They don't want you pointing out certain things, so they're going to kind of link up with you in the sense of like, listen, this works out well the way it's going. How about we just work together to make sure it keeps working out well? I feel like that's where you're going to go with this. It seems very simple. Nine of Fire and the Justice card again on the dice. Okay. There's going to be some changes coming down the road. There's also changes coming, like, I feel like that's another reason why this is working out perfectly. There's more changes coming down the road. You can be a very vocal component of, like, what's best and how that can work out for the best of the situation going forward. By handling it, by waiting. I feel like if you're able to wait and hold back and just kind of absorb information for the first 2 months, I feel like when you do connect to this energy, they have a lot more confidence that you're going to kind of take it slowly. Even though the situation moves very fast, you're going to be slow to like make a decision and then implement that decision to make sure it's the best for the situation. They also believe that you will not be afraid to make big changes if big changes need to be made. There's a lot of action going on. The speed, I can't get over the speed. It bothers me for some reason. The speed is kind of like a tactic. I think you're going to see that too. Because it keeps certain people from understanding what's really going on, and it keeps them out of the way. I'm not saying it's the best reason to have it work that way, but I feel like it does serve the situation. When you get there, I think you'll make a decision whether you like that or not. You seem to be going into the decisions later on. That seems to be this pile of cards. Things going really quickly. Page and Knight of Wands, Six of Cups, Seven of Cups. A lot of ideas, a lot of history. Nine of Cups, a lot of things where you're going to have to step back and do them on your own so that other people kind of stay where they're supposed to stay. I also got the Sun card here for you. I don't think I picked up cards a lot in this one. I'm reading them more than I'm picking them up. The situation is going to lead to a great moment for you. And you're going to lock into you're going to lock in with this person. I feel like this one person, once they realize you know what's going on and you work with them, they're going to try to keep you closer because they feel like not only do you align with them, but you're smart enough to actually realize why it works out the way it works out, and they trust you to want to have the same goal that they do. So if something weird comes out of nowhere and it's like, uh-oh, this is going to go bad, you'll be smart enough to like, okay, hold on, before that goes nuts, let me just kind of nip it in the bud, calm it down, and put it where it's supposed to go, and then keep the other person in the loop about what happened and what you did and why. And they feel like you'll do it similar, or at least a good way, to where things won't go off base. It'll still go towards the goal that they wanted. There's a lot of speed. The speed is like, it's kind of like, it feels overwhelming to me, but I feel like you'll be able to do what you need to do with it. The speed, that's a lot. That is a lot. Good things, though. I mean, the Sun card here is telling me this is a good thing. It does go well. I feel like, again, when you first get into this, I don't think people realize how smart you are and how good you are for this situation. they like you. At first glance, they're like, oh yeah, Libra looks good. Let's go with Libra. They might even kind of tell you some nice things, thinking that you're going to kind of buy into their line of BS, that they know you better than you know yourself, something like that. You'll see through that. But still, giving it a couple months to sort out and going, aha, now I see all the layers here. And then when the other person recognizes that, that's the big piece. Because that's where you're going to link in, and they're going to want to keep you close. And then you get a lot of benefit from it. All right, I think we're good. The speed, I feel like this whole reading, I feel like I talked really fast to the whole reading, but I feel like I'm living on this Eight of Wands energy. I'm like, it's just a fast-moving situation. It's just how it works. Thankfully, on YouTube, you do have that ability to go down somewhere in the somewhere near the bottom of the video. There's that, you could hit that little gear thing and slow down how I talk. So if you want to do that, feel free, of course. Anything else? All right, thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.